His Light by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Bristol Chilton on October 13th, 2017. Gray mist on the sea, and the night coming down, she stays with sorrow in a far town. He goes the sea ways by channel lights dim, her love, a true light, watches for him. They would be wedded on a fair yesterday, but the quick regiment saw him away. Gray mist in her eyes, and the night coming down, he feels a prayer from a far town. He goes the sea ways, the land lights are dim, she and an altar light keep watch for him. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Countersign by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Kachuk. Along Virginia's wandering roads, while armies hastened on, to Beauregard's great southern host, Manassas fields upon, came Colonel Smith's good regiment, eager for Washington. But Colonel Smith must halt his men in a dangerous delay, though well he knows the countryside to the distant host of gray. He cannot join with Beauregard for Bull Run's bloody fray. And does he halt for storm or ford, or does he stay to dine? Say no, but death will meet his men, onward if moves the line. He dares not hurry to Beauregard, not knowing the countersign. Flashed in the sun his waving sword, "Who rides for me?" he cried, and asked of the chief the countersign upon a daring ride. Though never the lad come back again with the good that will betide. "I will send a letter to Beauregard," the colonel slowly said. "The bearer dies at the picket's line, but the letter shall be read when the pickets find it for the chief in the brave hand of the dead."
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Countersign by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Kachuk. "Ready I ride to the chief for the sign," said little Dan O'Shea, "though never I come from the picket's line, but a faded suit of gray. Yet over my death will the road be safe, and the regiment march away." "In a mother's name, I bless thee, lad," the colonel drew him near. "But first in the name of God," said Dan, "and then is my mother's dear. Her own good lips that taught me well, with the cross of Christ no fear." Quickly he rode, by valley and hill, on to the outpost line, till the pickets arise by wall and mound, and the levelled muskets shine. "Halt!" they cried, "count 3 to death, or give us the countersign." Lightly the lad leaped from his steed, no fear was in his sigh, but a mother's face and a home he loved under an Irish sky. He made the sign of the cross and stood, bravely he stood to die, lips in a prayer at the blessed sign, and calmly he looked around, and wonder seized his waiting soul to hear no musket sound, but only the pickets calling to him heartily up the mound. For this was the order of Beauregard around his camp that day. The sign of the cross was countersign, and a blessing to Dan O'Shea. And the word came quick to Colonel Smith for the muster of the gray.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Hill Alights by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Turn from Kerry Crossroads and leave the wooded dells. Take the mountain path and find where Tip O'Leary dwells. Tip O'Leary is the name, I sing it all day long, and every bird whose heart is wise will have it for a song. Tip O'Leary keeps the lights of many lamps aglow. Little matters it to him, the seasons come or go. Sure, if spring is in the air, his hedges are abloom, and fairy buds like candles shine across his garden room. Roses in the June days are light the miles around. Tapers of the fuchsias move along the August ground. Sumacs light the flaming torches by October's grave, and like the campfires on the hills, the oaks and maples wave. All the lights but only one die out when summer goes. One that Tip O'Leary keeps is brighter than the rose. Through the window comes the bloom on any winter night, and every sense goes wild to it, soft and sweet and bright. Lamps are fair that have the light from flowers all day long, when the birds are here and sing the Tip O'Leary song. But a winter window is the fairest rose of all, when Tip O'Leary's hearth is lit and lamps upon the wall.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Off to the War by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Jack. In a little ship and down the bay, out to the calling sea, a young brave lad sailed off today. To the one great war went he. The one long war all men must know, greater than land or gold. Soul is the prince, and flesh the foe, of a kingdom Christ will hold. With arms of faith and hope well wrought, the brave lad went away. And the voice of Christ fills all his thought, under two hands that pray. The tender love of a mother's hands, that guarded all his years, fitted the armor, plate, and bands, and blessed them with her tears. Older than Rhodes and Ascalon, and the farthest forts of sea, is the master voice that calls him on from the hills in Galilee, from the hills where Christ in gentle guise called as he calls again, with his heart of love and his love-lit eyes, unto his warrior men. Christ with the brave young lad today, who goes to the sweet command. Strengthen his heart wherever the way, whether he march or stand, and whether he die in a peaceful cell or alone in the lonely night. The cross of Christ shall keep him well, and be his death's delight.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Towers of Holy Cross by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. For W. M. Letts. The roads look up to Holy Cross. The sturdy towers look down, and show a kindly word to all who pass by Worcester town. And once you'd see the boys at play, or marching cap and gown. The gallant towers of Holy Cross are silent night and day. A few young lads are left behind who still may take their play. The cross and flag look out afar for them that went away. And mine are gone, says Beaven Hall, to camps by hill and plain, and mine along by Newport sea, says the high tower of O'Kane. I follow mine, alumni calls, across the watery main. Their sires were in the old brigade that won at Fontenoy, stood true at Washington's right hand, that were his faith and joy. From Holy Cross to Fredericksburg is many a gallant boy. Then God be with you, says the cross, and the brave towers looking down. I'll be your cloth, sings the flag, for other cap and gown, and may we see you safe again on the hills of Worcester town. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Always Maytime by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Jerry. When May has spent its little song, and richer comes the June, through former eyes the heart will long for May again in tune. Though large with promise hope may be, by future visions cast, our memoried thoughts will yearn to see the happy little past. And you, my loyal little friend, from May to June you go. What years of loyalty attend great comradeship we know. Yet joy have me, in place of tears, to see your road depart. For whether east or west your years, a friend stays home at heart. Then gladly let the springtime pass, and summer in its wake. Ahead are fields of flower and grass, all fragrant for your sake. With hearts of joy we say farewell, with laughter, wave and nod. It's always May for us who dwell in seasons close to God. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
This is The Storyteller by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Sarah. The Storyteller. Tim of the Tales they call me, with a welcome heart and hand, but little they hold my brother for all his cattle and land. If I be walking the high road from Clare that runs to the sea, a troop of the young run leaping to gather a story from me. Tim of the Tales, the folk say, is known the world around, for children by taking his stories to their homes on foreign ground. I pity my brother his fortunes, and how he sits alone, with the money that keeps his body but leaves his heart a stone. And sometimes do I be feeling a dream of death in my ear, and a heaven of children calling, Tim of the Tales is here. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Father's Tunes by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. My father had the gay good tunes, the like you'd seldom hear. A whole day he could whistle them, and then he'd up and sing the merry tunes and twists o' them that suited all the year. And you wouldn't ask but listen, if yourself stood there a king. Early of a mornin' he would give the barefoot boy to us, and later on the rocky road, or maybe mountain lark. Trottin' to the fair was a liltin' heart of joy to us, and when we heard the coolin', sure the night was never dark. And what's the good of foolish tunes? The Moylan folks 'ud say. It's better teach the children work and get the crock o' gold.
Thin sorrow take their wisdom, when it makes them sad and grey. A man is fitter have a song that never lets him old. A stave of Gillen's apples, or a snatch of Come Along With Me, will warm the cockles o' your heart, and life will keep its prime. Yarra gold is all the richer when it's Danny sing a song for me. Or what's the good o' money if you're dead afore your time? It's sense to do your turn o' work, it's healthy to be wise, and have the little crock o' gold again the day o' rain. But when the ground is heaviest, your heart will feel the skies. If you know a little Irish song to lift the road o' pain. The learnin' and the wealth we have are never sad and grey with us. The dullest times in all the year are merry as the June, for we've the heart to up and sing, arise and come away with us, the way my father gave it, and we laughin' in the tune.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Song by Michael EARLS. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For John McCormick. June of the trees in glory, June of the meadows gay. Oh, and it works a story to tell an October day. Blooms of the apple and cherry toil for the far-off hours. Never is idleness merry in song of the garden bowers. Brooks to the sea from mountains, yea, and from field and vine. Rain and the sun are fountains that gather for wheat and wine. Cellar and loft shall glory, table and hearth shall praise, hearing October's story of June and the merry days.
End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Ballad of France by Michael EARLS. Read for LibriVox.org by Ken Davies, Derby, England. A Ballad of France. Ye who heed a nation's call and speed to arms therefore, ye who fear your children's march to perils of the war, soldiers of the deck and camp and mothers of our men, hearken to a tale of France and tell it oft again. In the east of France, by the roads of war, God save us evermore from Mars and Thor. Up and down the fair land, iron armies came. Pity, Jesu, all who fell calling thy name. Pleasant all the fields were round every town. Garden airs went sweetly up, heaven smiled down, till under leaden hail, with flaming breath, graves and ashen harvest were the keep of death. One little town stood, white on a hill, chapel and hostel gates, farms and windmill. Chapel and countryside met the gunner's path, till no blade of kindly grass hid from his wrath. Lo, when the terrain cleared out of murky air, when mid the ruins stalked death and despair, one figure stood erect, bright with day, Christ the crucified, though his cross was shot away. Flame and shot tore away all the tender wood, yet with arms uplifted Christ his figure stood. Outreached the blessing hands, meek bowed the head, Christ, the saving solace, o'er the waste of dead. France tells the story make our hearts know well. Christ his figure stands against the gates of hell. Flame and shot may rive the fortress walls apart. Christ the crucified will heal the breaking heart. Wear him, day and night, wherever be the war. God save us evermore from Mars and Thor. Flag and heart that keep him fear not shot and flame. Strengthen, Jesu, all who stand calling thy name. Ye who guard a nation's call, and speed to arms therefore, ye who pray for brave lads gone to perils of the war, soldiers of the fleet and fort, and mothers of our men, in the shadow of the cross shall we find peace again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To One in Success by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Ken Davies, Derby, England. To One in Success. A world's new faces greet you, 10,000, quick with praise, but truer stay to meet you, old friends and other days. Let fickle changes hurt you, the new go quick apart, one fame shall ne'er desert you, in true hearts like this heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Lifelong War by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Ken Davies, Derby, England. The Lifelong War. Still goes the strife, the anguish does not die. Stronger the flesh is grown from earthy years, in siege about my soul that upward peers, to see and hold its good. The spirit's eye approves the better things, but senses spy the passing sweets, spurning the present fears, and take their moment's prize. Then hot tears deluge my soul, and contrite moans my cry. Courage, my heart, bright patience to the end. Few years remain, then goes the warring wall of sensely flesh that men will throw to earth. So be it. So the contrite soul shall wend a homeward way, and to the captain's call, eternally, to no contrition's worth. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Linden Lane by Michael Earls, read for LibriVox.org by Ken Davies, Derby, England. Linden Lane. Holy Cross, May 1917. For Major Joseph W. O'Connor, 1903. Birds are merry, and the buds come along with May. Lonely is the linden land for lads that went today. What calls the May of song, but the fair young spring heard our boys another tune, sterner voices sing. Bugles blew by land and sea, and the tocsin drum. See, brave hearts go down the hill, shouting, Hail, we come! From the towers that show the cross, staunch the flag waved out, and the royal purple shook, joyous with the shout. Hey ho! And a lusty cheer down the Linden Lane. The pine grove looked, but cannot tell if they'll come home again. Few may take the homeward road when the war is done, where they fall or when they come. Hail to the cause they won, till the buds and the merry birds come another May. Cross and flag aloft shall bless brave lads who went today. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Boundaries of a House by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Along the north, a mountain crest, a row of trees runs towards the west. The south is all a field for play, for work the east has marked a way. The night shows all the stars above, and the long, long day a mother's love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Attainment by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Let me go back again. There is the road, oh, memory, the humble garden lane, so young with me. Let me rebuild again the start of faith and hope by that abode, amend with morning freshness all the code of youth's desire, remap my chart's domain with tuneful joy, and plan a far campaign for better marches in ambition's mode. Ah, know, my heart, more certain now the skies for joy abide, the cage of tree and sod, horizons firm that faith and hope attain, far realms of innocence in children's eyes, and hearts harmonious with the will of God. These might I miss if I were back again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Philosophers by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. The best of true philosophers are the children, after all, the children with laughing hearts and the serious field and ball. They have a bowl and bubbles, and hours where rainbows are. They find, if ever the sun is hid, in every dark a star. But oh, the sorry men that make the wise books of our day! They cannot smile athwart a cloud when black thoughts lead astray. They cannot add a simple sum, but talk like drunken men, and shut their eyes to keep out God when spring comes in again. Far simpler than the rule of three are the laws of earth and sky. Yet fools will muddle all true thought, and pride will have its cry. The banners with their deadly words go reeling on, unfurled, and sin and sadness march along to the heartbreak of the world. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Philosophers by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. But the children are the wise men, with the clearest heart and mind. If 2 and 1 are 3, they say, then truth is near to find. If this be now that once was not, if things must have a cause, then very simple is the sum, that God is in his laws. The world's men that are fools enough, they will not speak that way, but with a cloud of muddled thought they hide the light of day. Yet laughing words and candid truth abide by field and hall, where the best of true philosophers are the children after all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Preparedness by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. 1. The Drummer Boy. You may never know when war may come, and that is why I keep a drum. For if all sudden in the night from east or west came battle fright, and you were sound asleep at bed, and very soon to join the dead, you then would gladly wish my drum would warn you that the war had come. So that is why on afternoons I tell the neighborhood my tunes, sometimes behind a fortress bench, or where the hedges make a trench. I beat the drum with all my might, while people look with awful fright, just as they would if war had come, and heard the warring of my drum. They must be thankful, I am sure, because they now may feel secure, and rest so safe and sound in bed, without wild dreams of fearful dread. For now they hear me all the day, and round the yard I march and play, to let them know if war should come, they'll get the warning of my drum. 2. The Sailor. A sailor that rides the ocean wave, and I in my room at home, where are the seas I fear to brave, or the lands that I may not roam? At the attic window I take my stand, and tighten the curtain sail. Then ahoy! I ride the leagues of land, whether in calm or gale. Tree at anchor along the road, bow as I speed along. At sunny brooks in the valley I load cargoes of blossom and song. Stories I take on the passing wind from the plains and forest seas. And the golden fleece I yet will find, and the fruit of Hesperides. Steady I keep my watchful eyes as I range the 1,000 miles, till evening tides in western skies turn gold the cloudland isles. Then fast is the hatch and dark the screen, and I bring my cabin light. With a wink I change to a submarine, and drop in the sea of night. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
War in the North by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Not from Mars and not from Thor comes the war, the welcome war. Many months we waited for, to free us from the bondage of winter's gloomy reign. Valor to our hope is bound, songs of courage loud resound. Vowed is spring to win her ground through all our northern country, from Oregon to Maine. All our loyal brave allies in the Southlands mobilize. Faith is sworn to our emprise. The scouting breezes whisper that help is sure today. Vanguards of the springtime rains cannonade the hills and plains, freeing them from winter's chains, so birds and buds may flourish around the throne of May. Hark, and hear the clarion call bluebirds give by fence and wall. Look, the darts of sunlight fall, and red shields of the robins ride boldly down the leas. Hail! The cherry banners shine, onward comes the battle line. On! White dogwood waves the sign, and exile troops of blossoms are sailing meadow seas. Winter's tyrant king retires, spring leads on her legion choirs, where the hedges sound their lyres. The victor hills and valleys ring merrily the tune. April cohorts guard the way for the great enthroning day, when the Princess of May shall wed within our Northlands the charming Prince of June. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Happy Time by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Happy Time. 2 gloomy scenes may be, or count ye 3. A building hope all crushed at morn, a bridal day in clouds of rain, and night that keeps a mother's pain for tidings of a child forlorn. Of happy times count more, admit these 4. A flower of promise rich with day, a son with victories that wear a halo on his mother's way, and friends whose hearts ring like a chime across the world at Christmas time. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Time of Truce by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Time of Truce. Two young lads from childhood up drank together friendship's cup. Joe was glad with Bill at play. Bill was home to Joe alway. On their friendship came the blight of a little thoughtless fight. Then, alas, each passing day farther bore these friends away. There was grief in either heart, bleeding deep from sorrow's dart, when in thoughtfulness again each beheld the other's pain. But the shades of night are furled when the morning takes the world, and the Christmas days of peace make our little quarrels cease. Bill and Joe on Christmas Day met as in the olden way. Bill put out his hand to Joe. It was Christmas Day, you know. Bill and Joe are friends again, and to them long years remain. Time may take them far away, they keep Christmas every day. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain. Bethlehem by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Bethlehem. O ye who sail Potomac's eventide to Vernon's shades, our chieftain's hallowed mound, or who at distant shrines high paean sound, and Alfred's cult, old England's morning pride, or seek Versailles, conceited as a bride, with garish memories of kin strewn round, or lay your spirit's cheeks on foreign ground, for here a mighty Caesar lived and died. To these and other stones, O ye who speed, since there, forsooth, a prince was passing great, more zealous let your hearts adoring heed the child most royal in a crib's estate. No poor, so poor, no king more king than he. Come, better pilgrims, to this mystery. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Vow-Day Flower by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Kachuk. Poverty, chastity, obedience. 3 little leaves like shamrock, and the trefoil's love-lit eyes, whether it takes the sunshine or the shadows from the skies. And richer than rose or lily is the flower he wears today, with triune bloom and fragrance, from earth to heaven alway. Poverty is the low leaf, and one is chastely white, and the red love of obedience goes up to God a light. Grow, good flower, and keep him who wears your bloom today. Shadow and sunshine bless him, and the trefoil's heavenward way. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Tree in the Tenement Yard by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Kachuk. For T.A. Daly. America, Ireland, and Italy all have known this poor old tree. A rickety fence goes round the yard, and the noisy streets stand high. The grassless ground is brown and hard, and the cinder pathways, lined with shard, sees but a bit of sky. Once the yard was fertile and fair, and lilac bushes near,
and a Yankee counted with fretful care, under the solacing shadows there, the gain of every year. The crowded walls of trade arose, and gloomed the avenue, but a Munster man at each day's close built in the tree his hopes' rainbows, and saw his dreams come true. The years have thickened the darkened air, but the tree is still on guard. It comforts the young Italian there, who sees the future blossoming fair from the tree in the tenement yard. America, Ireland, and Italy all have loved this poor old tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Old Hudson Rovers by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Joyce Kilmer. When the dreamy night is on, up the Hudson River, and the sheen of modern taste is dim and far away, ghostly men on phantom rafts make the waters shiver, laughing in the sibilance of the silver spray. Yea, and up the woodlands, staunch in moonlit weather, go the ghostly horsemen, adventuresome to ride. White as mist the doublet brays, bandolier and feather, fleet as gallant Robin Hood in an eventide. Times are gone that knew the craft in the roll of rovers. Fellows of the open, care could never load. Unalarmed for bed or board, they were leisure's lovers. Summer bloomed in Story on the Hyde Park Road. Summer was a blossom, but the fruit was autumn. Fragrant haylofts for a bed, cider cakes in store. Warmer was a cup they know when the north wind caught 'em down at Benny Havens by the West Point shore. Idlers now and loafers pass, joy is out of fashion. Honest fun that fooled a dog or knew a friendly gait. Now the craft are vagabonds, sick with modern passion, riding up and down the shore on an aching freight. Sullen are the battered looks, cheerless talk or tipsy, sickly in the smoky air, starving in the day, pining for a city's noise at Kingston or Poughkeepsie, eager more for Gotham and a great white way. Rich is all the countryside, but glory has departed. What if yachts and mansions be by the river's marge? Dim though was a hillside, lamps were happy-hearted near the cove of Rondout in a hut or barge. Silken styles are tyrants, fashion kills the playtime, robs the heart of largesse that is kindly to the poor. Richer were the freemen, welcome as the Maytime, glad was boy or maiden, seeing Brennan of the moor. Send us back the olden nights, tell no law to track 'em, give to boy and maid the storytellers as of yore, millionaires in legend wealth, though no bank would back 'em but old Benny Havens by the West Point shore. Off with lazy vagabonds, social ghosts that shiver, give to worthy roadmen the great green way, and we'll hear a song again up the Hudson River, ringing from a drifting raft set in silver spray. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Winter Minster by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Father C. L. O'Donnell. The interlacing trees arise in Gothic traceries, as if a vast cathedral, deep and dim, and through the solemn atmosphere the low winds hymn such thoughts as solitude will hear. To lead your way across grey carpet aisles of moss unto the chantry stalls, the sumac candelabra are alight. Along the cloister walls, like chorister and acolyte, the shrubs are vested white. The dutiful monastic oak, in his grey friar cloak, keeps penitential ways and solemn orisons of praise. For beads upon the cincture vine, red berries warm with colour shine, and to their constant rosary the beadsman firs incline. And fair as frescoes be among the shrines of Italy, these lights and shadows are impalpable in grey and green upon the hills afar, and the gold westering sun between. The music, hark! Oh, an it be no rapturous lark, yet has the lesser chant the blessedness of song. The snowbird mendicant intones the antiphon, Et laboremus nos, and all the grottoed aisles along, where servitors rejoice, the chorused echoes run, Oremus nos. The inspiration of the breeze gives every reed a voice, from tenebrae and silences. Over the valleys borne come organ harmonies, and when the low winds call, the pines with miserere mourn a requiem musical. Softer than moonbeams fall across the starry orioles of night, flooding the azure round with hushed delight and sanctity of sound. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Dark Little Rose by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Ireland. When shall we find the spring come in, and the fragrant air it blows? And when shall the bounty of summer win, fairer than fields of camelin, for the dark little rose? Long was the winter, the storms how long! What flower may live i' the snows? No bloom shall last under heels of wrong, if the heart blood be not deathless strong as the dark little rose. Sing hers the culture, sweeter than rain, that healed old Europe's woes. Older than bowers of Lille and Louvain, grew by the Rhine and the towns of Spain, from the dark little rose. Leagues in the sunlight never shall fail, while the broad, round ocean flows, though never a fleet goes up Kinsale. See, all the world is within the pale of the dark little rose. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Monk Maelanfaid by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Maelanfaid saw a tiny bird a-grieving on the ground, and oh, the sad lament he heard, that sorrow's self might sound. He could not read a note or word, the song of grief inwound. Maelanfaid went within his cell to keep a fast and pray, to listen to a voice would tell the mystery away. What was the red long pain befell the bird of grief all day? Maelanfaid, airy voices call, Macocha Mulv is dead, who killed no creature, great or small, who helped all life instead. Now griefs of bird and blossom fall around his funeral bed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Young Adventurers by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. We will go adventuring. Will you come adventuring? Hail to all who sail with us the 7 pleasant seas. All the shores with lily bells, all the flutes of woodland dells, are calling like a legend upon a fragrant breeze. Throw away the haughty cares. Children here are millionaires. Laughter take for a baggage, and give your laugh a song. We must sail the seas of grass, round the skies of Clover Pass, and delve in leagues of shadowland where clouds come along. Caves are walled with treasure trove, rich as any youth's sea cove, bullion of the meadow where the gold sun flows. Round the reefs of mignonette, up the waves of violet, fragrant go our sails, and spars with altar of the rose. On, gay adventurers, bravely ride the billowy firs, golden foil and dewy pearls are swaying to the tune. Quaff the brew of red raspberry through the vine vale's gossamery, till we turn when night comes down alleys of the moon. Yea, with laughter in our sails and our hearts a book of tales, down the silver roadways a homeward hymn we say. Praise the Lord, ye great and small, flower and weed majestical, for pleasant seas that God gave adventurers today. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fountain of Youth by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Osceola and Pocahontas. Was it 100 years ago, or was it but yesterday, when we found the roads that grow blossom and song of May? Maybe it was but yesterday, or 100 years ago. The roads from Bursa Bay to Dan are old and quickly tire, but to the heart of child or man, youth is a fairy fire. Our youthful roads, they never tire, from Bursa Bay to Dan. Ponce de Leon found no spring, but legend's long, long ruth. But the grace of God is a magic thing, abides with chivalrous youth. The grace of God that brings no ruth for them who find the spring. There is a land, there is a May, beyond the graveyard tree. 10,000 years are like a day of a youth that we shall see. Our young hearts pass the graveyard tree to a land forever in May. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Bonnie Prince o' Spring by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. The little green soldiers are here at last, with their waving blades and spears, and across the hills they are marching fast, with the drill of 1,000 years. And I wave afar, and I shout, hurrah, till I hear their echoing cheers. A bonny prince is at their head, and his love the legions know, for he gives them rest where the twigs are red, at the hedges cool in a row. And afoot are they soon to a bird-like tune, on the northward march to go. Oh, I am leal to the marching men, to my bonny prince I'm true, for he tells me the way to his tented glen, and the secret password too. And he sets in my hair a blossom to wear, like his own good horsemen do. Then I will follow on all the day, where the bonny prince has led, till we drive the winter foemen away, and throne my prince instead, and sing Willaloo with the birds, Willaloo, for the winter king is dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On a Train by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Christine and Tom. Oases are charming mid the Afric sands. Beautiful is summer after rain. But the sweetest blossoms may be eyes and hands, and two playful children on a train. Aileen and her brother, home from holiday, left behind them Narragansett town. Innocence like music followed all the way. Summer glowed upon the cheeks of brown. She that was their escort read a magazine. They were young, and trains are dull at night. All the passing signals, red and blue and green, counted up the miles for young delight. I was there behind them, earnest in a book. Lo, the journey turned to fairyland, when, like magic mirrors, dusty windows took Aileen's dancing eyes and waving hand. That is how it happened on a creeping train, how a play began without a word, peekaboo reflections in a window pane. Such a story hour was never heard. Aileen and her brother strangers were to me. They were friendly for the cloth I wore, and through the leagues of window youthful play could see. We were friends to be for evermore. So we passed the hamlets, past the miles of night, in a fairyland of silent games, till the travel ended in the Worcester light. Yet we parted strangers in our names. But a fortnight later, by an autumn tree, Aileen and her brother came my way, and another glad to tell the names of them and me, and to hear how travellers can play. Life is but a journey, say we evermore. Passing lights the years have, like a train. Three good friends will travel up to heaven's door, with the world a merry window pane. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Columbine by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Grey, lonely rocks about thee stand, ignored of sun and dew. Yet is thy breath upon the land, to thy vocation true. So come they character to me, that works in sunless ways, and I shall learn to give with thee, dark hills, a constant praise. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To Seanichies by Michael Earls. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. For Eid. 'Tis the queerest trade we have, the two of us that go about, I that do the talkin', and the little lad that sings. We to tell the story of a land you ought to know about, the wonderland of Erin, and the memories it brings. Sure it is a wonderland, richer than the books it is, full of magic stories and a hopeful heart of song. faith, and near the mountains, and the sunny lakes and brooks it is, like the olden Seanichies, the pair of us belong. Far and broad our journeying, up and down the land we go, today among the mountains, and tomorrow by the sea. Pleasant are the roads with us, and to a welcome grand we go. Erin wins the heart of you, whoever you may be. Erin's heart will capture you, if you will but listen now. Great she was afore the Danes and all her Saxon foes. After that the sorrows came, sure your eyes will glisten now. Up, my lad, and sing for them the dark little rose. Rest awhile, and I will tell the fame of Tara's hall to them, all the deeds of valor, and 1,000 scenes of joy. Wicklow hills and Derry fields, where Killarney calls to them. Come, my lad, it's 98, and sing the Croppy Boy. Long ago the stranger came, and learned to love the ways of her. Irish more than Irish, the Norman foe became. Sure, and here across the sea, you give your hearts to praise of her. The tear and smile within her eyes, that ever are the same. Not for gold or little fame, the two of us to go about. I that do the talkin', and the little lad that sings. We to win your love for her, the land you're glad to know about, the wonderland of Erin, and the memories it brings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Green Brigade by Michael EARLS. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. On the field of corn. Where is the war ye march unto from the early tents of morn? And what are the deeds ye hope to do, brave grenadiers of corn? Pearls of the dew are on your hair, and the jewels of morning light. Pennants of green ye fling to the air, and the tall plumes waving bright. Gaily away and steady ye go, never a faltering line. Forward I follow and try to know word of your countersign. Hist! The spies of the tyrant sun eagerly watch your plan. Lavish with bribes of gold they run down to your outmost man. Steady, good lads, go bravely on by the parching hills of pain. An armor of shade ye soon may don, and meet the allies of rain. And night in the bivouac hours will sing praise of the march ye made, and into your pockets good gold will bring, men of the Green Brigade. Yea, and upon September's field, when the long campaign is done, with arms upstacked your hearts will yield conquest of rain and sun. The pennants and plumes will then be sere, your pearls delight no morn, but tents of plenty will bless the year, brave grenadiers of corn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Alleluia Height by Michael EARLS. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Obedience to the season's martial rod, that is a law of God. Here beauty passes with her gorgeous train on paths that range from bud to grain. Oh, here the searching eyes, in traffic for the soul's good gain, earn wealth of rare delight, far pathways of surprise, in colors frumenty bedight, lead off from avenues of day through miles of pageantries, and from the starry chancels of the night and the inscrutable farther skies, beyond where trackless comets stray, outspreads a world in thought's array. And lo, the heart's true voices sing from the exulting reverent breast, and lips proclaim with adoration blest glad alleluias to the King. Prompt is our praise unto a jewelled Queen in all her courtly splendor set, fair as those fairy lands are seen by childhood's other sight. But if in pauper mien, too poor for stray regret, where crowded streets affright she stood in beggary, unknown though faithful to her high degree, oh then her praise 'twere easy to forget. Yet ever here, for all of time's prompt fickleness, from plenteous June and wide largess of full midsummer days, to dwarf December pitiless amid the earth's uncomplimented ways, yea, constant through the changeful year, this queenly height commands our praise to stand in meek unflinching hardihood when fortune blows its storm of fright, and work to full effect that good resolved in open days of clearer sight. Oh, this is worth, that daily sees the soul to braver liberties give birth, that heeds not time's annoy, and hears surrounding voices roll perennial circumstances of joy. Then come not only when the springtime blows the old familiar strangeness of its breath across the long lane snows, and chants her resurrected songs about the tombs of death, nor yet when summer glows in roseate throngs and works her plenitude of deeds by tangled dells and waving meads. Come here in beauty's pilgrimage, nor when autumn reeds illuminate her page with tints of magicry bespent, of iridescent wonderment, as scrolls in old monastic towers done in an earnest far off age, but choose to come in winter hours to see how character can live, how noble character will give through desolate distress and cold neglect's duress the fullness of its powers, and win the soul its victor sign. Yea, come when in a peasant gown, amid the ample banners of the pine and the resounding harpers of the vine, lone winter holds upon the height her court in full renown, obedient her courtiers go. Their ganifalons aloft and bright, and scatter pearls of snow, her sturdy knighthood wear for crown, prismatic sheen in young delight, and wave the cedar oriflamme on high, while windward heralds cry, across the battlements of earth, through parapets along the sky, the lauds of character's full worth. The winter passes, and the days come in vibrant with spring, and men find welcome at the Easter tomb, reward they win, who make their hearts with courage sing through Lenten opportunity of gloom, not as the Pharisees with faces lachrymose, who wear pretense of ashen woes, and murmur like the tuneless bees whose honies are hypocrisies, but men of character's delight, who, like this valiant height, still serving through the bleakest day with humble offerings of sound and sight, do steadfast stand and pray. Oh, count those souls of noble worth, and God's good pleasure on his earth, who still, if joy or pain brings sun or rain, heroic sing the law of Alleluia to the King. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Ballads of Peace in War by Michael Earls.